Hey there guys, welcome to Dinos Vault once again, and I'm here at the Metro Honda dealership. I don't know whether you can see it properly. I'm here at the request of my very good friend Mr. Steven. He's the CEO over here, and I'm here to review this WRV. So let's go ahead with this review and find out what makes the WRV different from the Jazz in every which way possible. The Honda WRV is a subcompact crossover utility vehicle that has been built based on the Jazz hatchback, just like the i20 Active is based on the i20 or the Etios Cross is based on the Etios hatchback. However, the WRV promises to offer that extra bit of muscle and a powerful persona in terms of its visual outlook compared to the other crossovers in our market, currently around its price range. For those who aren't aware, WRV stands for Winsome Runabout Vehicle. The model was first introduced at the 2016 Sao Paulo International Motor Show held in Brazil. Another interesting thing to note about this car is that the WRV is the first vehicle model from Honda which is fully manufactured in India. As a result, we get to witness and lay our hands on this radical and sporty looking brat from Honda first up ahead of others throughout the world. So without wasting any more time, let's start out by seeing as to how different this car is compared to its hatchback sibling. First of all, we need to know that both the cars share the same platform and also the same engine options across the petrol and diesel variants. The WRV2, just like the Jazz, comes with a 1.2 litre petrol and a 1.5 litre diesel engine option. The power and torque figures of both the variants too remain unchanged for the petrol as well as the diesel variants compared to that of the Jazz. So what's different is the way Honda is trying to present this car. Compared to other crossovers currently available in our market, the WRV looks more like a subcompact SUV rather than a crossover. That comes courtesy of its relatively taller stance compared to the likes of the i20 or the Etios Cross or even the Urban Cross. The WRV, with its bolder, sportier and more bulkier outlook, looks ready to take on some of the subcompact SUVs in our market like the EcoSport or even the Brezza. It's almost like Honda hitting two birds with one shot, because with the WRV, they've successfully managed to position this offering as a worthy competitor in the crossover segment as well as the subcompact SUV segment. The WRV is indeed a sub 4 meter car just like the Jazz. So here are the differences that well and truly differentiate the WRV as a different breed compared to the Jazz. Interestingly, the WRV falls just 1 millimeter short of 4 meters, with the length of the car being 3,999 millimeters. This is still 44 mm longer than the Jazz, which means Honda were particular in making the WRV look bigger and larger outlook-wise. The WRV is also 40 mm wider and 57 mm taller than the Jazz. The wheelbase has been increased for the WRV by 25 mm, which results in better high-speed stability. Also aiding this are larger 16-inch wheels on the WRV compared to the 15-inch ones on the Jazz. The WRV also gets wider 195/60 tires compared to the 175/65 tires on the Jazz. Having wider tires offer better traction and reduced body roll, thereby resulting in better cornering capabilities. Now, due to the longer wheelbase, the turning radius of the WRV is slightly greater at 5.3 meters compared to 5.1 meters of the Jazz. Also, the WRV gets a higher ground clearance of 188 mm when compared to 165 mm of the Jazz. The boot of the WRV is larger by 9 liters compared to that of the Jazz as well. Though the suspension setup pretty much remains the same all around for both the cars, the WRV gets an anti-roll bar which results in reduced body roll. As a result of all these changes, the top spec WRV is nearly 50 kgs heavier than the Jazz, but who cares, because the WRV really kicks ass in terms of stunning, modern and radical looks, which is exactly what today's generation of young professionals are looking for. Transmissions wise, the Jazz gets a petrol CVT auto box as an option, but we don't get that with the WRV as of yet. The fuel efficiency claims also differ among the Jazz and the WRV. For the WRV petrol variant, the claim is 17.5 kmpl, whereas for the Jazz petrol, it is 18.2 kmpl. For the WRV diesel variant, the claim is a whooping 25.5 kmpl, whereas for the Jazz diesel, it is an RU nuts 27.3 kmpl. Well, barring all the tech specs, it's actually the way the WRV looks that really makes a world of difference. With all due respect being given to the Jazz, which is a very good proposition in the premium hatch segment, the WRV though looks stunning, sexy and sophisticated, with all the new design elements really managing to give it a bold new look compared to its hatch sibling. Now, taking a look at the WRV's design, this is indeed the strongest point of the WRV that immediately falls to its favor. Up front, we have the prominent and striking solid wing chrome grille that has become a signature design element now of the current generation Honda cars. We then have the swept back headlamp setup with LED DRLs and position lamps. I, however, feel that they could have offered projector lamps in the top spec variant. The front bumper is well sculpted and we do get a front skid plate to give it a typical SUV kind of a look. Coming to the profile, we have strong and powerful character lines flowing across the body that do lend the car a modern compact SUV kind of a look. Further aiding this are the larger 16-inch wheels, higher ground clearance of 188 mm and all-round body cladding that lend the car a rugged look. At the back, we get a new tail lamp layout. It is indeed a combi lamp setup just like that of the Jazz, but instead of extending up vertically, this one actually spreads out horizontally across the hood and really looks funky and sporty. The rear bumper too is well edged out and the rear skid plate completes what has to be a very unconventional yet compact, radical and contemporary looking design theme that looks attractive from almost any angle you choose to view at it from. Getting inside, we are welcomed by sporty black interiors. The seats are nice and comfortable with well-angled, impact-mitigating headrests. The cushioning is absolutely spot on to soak you in comfort. The dash is neatly laid out and looks premium. The central console is slightly angled towards the driver for easy reach and operation. The speedo console is well lit up and we get a 3-pot setup here. We get an analog tachometer and an analog speedometer, whereas the digital readouts include a clock, range, average, trip meters, temperature and a fuel gauge. The steering is well sized and offers a nice grip and feel. We do get steering mounted audio and phone controls for better convenience. Next, moving on to another special feature that this car has on offer, it is the 7-inch touchscreen AVN or audio video navigation system called the Digipad. The UI is simple to understand and easy to operate. The music system offers 4 speakers and 2 tweeters all around. Connectivity wise, the Digipad supports Android Auto, Mirror Link, we get a HDMI port, we get 2 micro SD card slots, FM radio, Bluetooth connectivity, USB ports, iPod and iPhone connectivity, navigation, net access via optional Wi-Fi receiver, voice command feature, etc. Now taking a look at the back, this is yet another strong point of the car, which is the amount of room on offer at the back. There is loads of leg room on offer, there is decent amount of headroom as well. Seating is comfortable enough for 3 average size adults to feel relaxed at the back. The car does miss out on rear AC vents though. Now taking a look at the storage options, we do get bottle holders all around, we have cup holders, we get retractable cup holders, we then have concealed storage underneath the driver armrest and we also get a spacious glove box. Taking a look at the boot, we get 363 liters of boot space, which is very impressive for a crossover or even a subcompact SUV. So the WRV scores really high in terms of practicality as well. Now the WRV doesn't get the magic folding seats like the Jazz, but it does get the electric sunroof to make things special for you. Now coming to the engine specs, just like the Jazz, we get 1 petrol engine and 1 diesel engine to choose from. First up, we have the ever so reliable 1.2 litre IVTEC petrol engine that puts out 90 PS of max power at 6000 RPM and 110 Newton meters of max torque at 4800 RPM. This comes mated to a 5-speed manual gearbox. We then have the 1.5 litre IDTEC diesel engine that puts out 100 PS of max power at 3600 RPM and 200 Newton meters of max torque right from 1750 RPM. And please note that I drove the IDTEC diesel variant. Taking the car out for a drive, the first thing I noticed is that the cabin now comes better insulated when compared to the previous Honda City on which the IDTEC diesel engine first premiered. The engine noise feels reduced to some degree, although it is still audible. If you're relaxing in the rear seat though, you'll hardly hear anything from the engine. The short throw 6-speed gearbox works just fine. It did feel a bit hard to operate, but I would rather give it the benefit of doubt because I was driving a test drive vehicle. The clutch feel isn't too hard, the clutch travel isn't too far either. The body roll is more controlled now thanks to the inclusion of an anti-roll bar. The steering feel is nice and pleasant. It does feel light and easy at lower speeds and weighs up adequately at higher speeds. The longer wheelbase and larger wheels offer good high-speed stability. The compact dimensions of the car enable you to squeeze through tight spaces in traffic should the need arise. The all-round cabin visibility too is quite good. The brakes are quite effective and confidence-inspiring. The suspension setup is well sprung to absorb all the undulations that the city roads have on offer. Now, looking at the safety features that this car has on offer, first of all, we get ABS with EBD and dual airbags as standard, which is amazing. We then have Honda's ACE body structure, wherein ACE stands for Advanced Compatibility Engineering. The body design uses a network of front frame structures to absorb and deflect the energy from a frontal collision. This helps reduce the force transferred to the cabin and more evenly disperse the forces transferred to other vehicles. This takes care of active as well as passive safety, which means not only are the passengers of the Honda vehicle safe, but even the passengers of the other vehicle involved in the accident are just as much as safe. We also have a rear parking camera with 3 different viewing modes like wide view, normal view and a top to down surface view, which really helps if you are having to park your car in tight parking spaces. Apart from this, other safety features on board include impact mitigating headrests, day and night inside rear view mirror, intelligent brake pedals with brake override system, etc. Now, how the brake override system works is that when the driver hits the brakes, the BOS cuts the delivery of fuel and reduces the throttle, thereby resulting in faster deceleration. Now, this system was introduced so as to prevent unintended acceleration under panic braking scenarios. Overall, the WRV does feel like a complete package. It appears like a whole new breed out there and has all the ingredients to become the perfect urban subcompact SUV and give its rivals a really tough time. Now, finally, looking at the price, the ex-showroom price for the WRV petrol variant starts from Rs 7.9 lakhs and goes up to 9.18 lakhs. The WRV diesel range starts from Rs 8.94 lakhs and goes up to 10.19 lakhs. And to know the exact on-road price, or if you have any other queries regarding this vehicle, please feel free to call the number appearing on the screen currently. Well, that's pretty much it for now. I just hope you found this video useful. Until next time, this is Dino saying ciao. Take care, God bless and drive safe.